Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. A customer called and said pool is green. It's been sitting this way for over a year. They had some electrical issues, water pipes busted on the property. Did a green and clean on this one last year. Had some black algae that we were dealing with pretty aggressively last year, so customer decided we're going to drain this one down. Go ahead and do a pressure wash, chlorine wash, and acid wash. Try to get rid of that black algae as much as possible, but today's video we definitely need to change the sand out. It was almost needing to be changed last year, so we decided to go ahead and change the sand out this year while we drain it down. So I'm going to show you how to change the sand out on this filter. So you can see it's a pretty large filter. We're going to need to suction out about 500 pounds of sand. We'll pull the valve top off first. Of course, you got to disconnect the pipes and get all that removed so we can gain access to the sand that's inside the filter. As you can see here, I've already cut the pipes. I'm just taking the valve head off. It comes off pretty easy, and then you have the main shaft that goes down to the laterals that sit in the bottom of the filter. It's very important that sand does not get down in the middle of this shaft. As you can see, it's pretty dirty. It's probably been sitting here a while, so we'll get started getting this vacuumed out. Alright, so the way I'm going to vacuum this out today, traditionally I just use a shop vac, but I have found this new tool. You can see right here, it's a sand vac system. Basically, it's a tool that attaches to the water hose that has a pointed tip and a drain hose on the end of that. And what it's going to do is you run the pointed tip of the funnel into the sand with the water going, and it creates a suction, and it will pull the sand right out of the sand filter. Typically I would have to vacuum out 10 gallons at a time, but with this tool here, this should be able to be done simultaneously as long as we keep the water full in the sand filter. It should go pretty quick. So again, I'm just going to assemble the tool. I'll hook the end of my hose up to the tool, and then place the drain hose on the other end of it, as you see here. Like I said, it's pretty easy setup. There's nothing overly complicated about that. Just make sure the gasket is in place. All right, now I'll get my water hose attached and get that screwed on, and we'll be ready to go. Alright, so we hook our water hose up to the water spigot that's on the house. We'll go ahead and get it hooked up, get the water hose secure, get the water turned on, and get ready to start suctioning some sand. Alright, so you see how I just stick the tool in beside the shaft. It immediately goes down into the sand, and you can hear the sand coming out through the drain tube as it's pulling the sand up through the drain hose and out into the yard. If you don't have a place like I do to just let the sand run out, you can place the end of the drain hose in a bucket, and the water will flow out of the bucket, but it will catch the sand and fill the bucket up first. And so you'll just shut it down, empty your bucket, come back and repeat. Over time, the water will drain out faster than it's filling up. So periodically you'll have to stop, let the tank fill back up, and then place your funnel back in the sand and keep suctioning it out. And as you can see here, there's lots of sand coming out when this is done correctly. You'll know it's done correctly because the tank will be full and there'll be plenty of sand just running out of here. Like I said, it's always good to have a place for the sand to go. This side yard wasn't utilized, so it was easy to just let the sand run on the ground. You really want to pay attention to the customer's best interest when doing something like this. All right, so I've got most of the sand out. There's still some left in the bottom. You see a couple laterals I've already pulled out. You have to pull the shaft up and stick your hand down in there and either twist off or quarter turn the laterals off of the shaft. So basically you want to inspect these laterals real good, because if they're cracked or worn out and won't screw in, they'll need to be replaced. In the case of this filter, the laterals were perfectly fine. They were in really good shape. So I was able to get them taken off and pull the shaft out to finish vacuuming out the rest of the sand. And there we go. All right, now that I've got the laterals off and the shaft out, I'll go ahead and stick the hose and the funnel back in and finish sucking out the rest of the sand. All right, this should be the last bit of the sand coming out of the sand filter. From there, I'll go ahead and shut everything down, pull the hose out. I have the funnel already off. And the most crucial part of this entire process is to make sure you cover the shaft hole. You do not want sand getting down in here, because this is where fresh water from your pool comes into the shaft down through the laterals. By getting sand in here, you're going to clog up the laterals and you can't get it out without vacuuming out the rest of your sand. So make sure you keep this covered. In comes the sand. It's going to be 10 bags of sand. That's going to equal 500 pounds, 50-pound bags apiece. All right, from there I'll take my hose and clean off any sand that got dropped around the edge that could prevent this thing from sealing back correctly. I will remove the plastic bag from the shaft head and then place my valve head back on, and this pool will be ready to go. I'll have to take some unions and put it back on the PVC. If your pool does not have unions on it, you have to cut your pipe. So whoever installs the pools, my advice would be to have them install unions at the valve head so that you don't have to cut the PVC like I've been having to do. Once that's connected, that's that job done.